Good news from Kenya. Now, Kenya is to grant citizenship for those diasporas, African diasporas, who claim to be their Kenyan by ancestry. But how do they are going to prove that? That's something that has a process. But for now, it's good news. So, if you are Kenyan by ancestry, then you can apply for citizenship in Kenya. Now, Kenya, it will be, I think, a second country following Ghana. Ghana has done that Euro of Return bill in 2019. That I think not only Ghanaian by ancestry, it includes as well African diaspora, if I'm not mistaken. So now Kenya is the second country, but this time for Kenya, it's only limited African diaspora, but who proves to be they have a Kenyan ancestry. Okay, this is really a good one. But I will say this before I go in detail. What does, the bill is not passed yet by the National Assembly, but if it passes, there are things. What are the requirements? How are they going to make sure that person is a Kenyan by ancestry? How did now it come to in effect? How did they propose it? It's all going to be answered in the articles that I'm going to analyze for you. But before that, let me just say this. I think Kenya is just going around the bush. Go ahead, and Kenya, please tell us that, because this is the ultimate that we want as an African. Tell us that Kenya is a visa-free country for all Africans, okay? That is the ultimate goal. That's what all Africans want to hear. Africans at home and Africans in the diaspora. William Ruto, in the beginning of 2024, has just introduced this amendment which he said that Kenya will be free for all African diasporas and Africans visa free. But then in January 2024, that thing has been cancelled. And, we said, okay, it's just William Ruto not walking his talk. So we criticized it and just passed it. But again, recently also, Kenya has allowed the Eastern African community citizens to come and work without any work permit. And some of the Eastern African communities, like two of them, Rwanda and Uganda, have done this. They allow Eastern African community citizens to work without any work permit. Now Kenya becomes the third country or the fourth country, I think. Now coming with this news, granting citizenship with if a person is Kenyan by ancestry is another one. But I'm just saying the ultimate is allow us to come as an African without being requested any visa. Okay, now let's just go ahead and analyze what does this mean. If it passed this bill, what are the procedures? Those are the things I would like to bring to you, okay? Now, Africans in the diaspora who claim Kenyan descent by ancestry will be allowed to apply for citizenship if a new bill before the National Assembly is passed. Now, the Kenyan Citizenship and Immigration Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by Suba South Member of Parliament Karoli Omondi, seeks to enable Africans in the diaspora with Kenyan roots to acquire citizenship through an expedited process. Now, there are already three ways to get Kenyan citizenship. One is, of course, by birth. The second one is by registration. And the third one is by naturalization. If you continue to work or to live in Kenya for 7 consecutive years, you can naturalize. Of course, with the stable economy and all the process, the requirements, you can become a Kenyan. Now, this is a fourth one, which is by ancestry with Kenyan root. And I think, and this is what it is, because they're bringing now this fourth way of things, they have seen it in the face of law. It's, unfair to allow those even with no African root or non-Kenyan root to allow them just because they lived in Kenya for 7 years to become a Kenyan. And you cannot allow allow for those to get Kenyan citizenship who have Kenyan roots. So this is what the Kenyan government is trying to balance. Okay, now this is what this MP said, who sponsored or who brought this in front of the National Assembly. Despite provisions of Section 7, a person born outside Kenya who claims Kenyan descent by ancestry may apply for citizenship subject to providing proof that the person has not been convicted of a criminal offense and been sentenced to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months. Oh, okay. So even you're imprisoned, if it's not more than 6 months, you can. Okay, good. Now, before determining the ancestry of persons eligible to apply for Kenyan citizenship, a genetic genealogy will be conducted by Kenyan authorities to determine the ancestry of an individual. Another requirement for the first one being not being prison for more than 6 months. You have no criminal record. The second one is a genealogy test will be conducted by Kenyan authorities. Okay. Now this genetic genealogy is the use of DNA testing in combination with traditional genealogical and historical records. I wonder what the traditional is. Okay, so it involves the use of genealogical DNA together with documentary evidence, okay, and family history profiles to determine biological relationship between or among individuals. So something that is registered by ancestors in the Kenyan record history in Kenya. That's what it means, the traditional one. Okay, what's the third one? Now, apart from the genetic geology test, such person will also be required to meet other 4 conditions before citizenship is granted. What is the first? According to the conditions set in the bill, a person will be required to prove reasonable financial resources as may be prescribed in law, number 1. Number 2, further, before such a person is given citizenship, the bill requires that the individual provide a proof of ability to make a substantial contribution to the development of the country and other related ventures. Okay, number 3, the person that is being able, how to contribute, being able to contribute to the development. I think this is normal in other countries also. Number 3, the person must also provide proof that he has not been convicted of a criminal offense and been sentenced to imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months and provide proof of reasonable financial resources. That's number 3. Mr. Omondi says the conditions have been placed in order to avoid opening a window to criminals to come into the country. You must demonstrate that you are able to support yourself and also provide proof that there is something you are going to add to our economy, that is Kenyan economy, the person is saying. The person who brought this proposal also, who is a member of parliament, said that he pointed out that if the bill is passed, it will increase government streams of income as individuals interested to leave Kenya will be making applications, and those successful will also inject capital investment in the country's economy. So the lawmaker says the bill, if passed into law, will actualize the right of return. So, as I told you, this is with the principle of international law and also with that of Kenya. Now, the constitution, the Article 13.2 of Kenya provides the Kenyan citizenship can be acquired by birth or registration. Now, the constitution also allows by naturalization, which is, for people, as I told you, if a person lived for 7 consecutive years. And now Kenya, in the face of law, they didn't see that this is fair for those who claim that they have a Kenyan root. So now they are introducing a fourth way of getting a citizenship, Kenyan citizenship. So now, definitely now Kenya is becoming a second African country to introduce this kind of provision in their law. So the proposal is already have been approved by the Speaker of the National Assembly, and it is going to be before the Budget and Appropriations Committee for financial implication. So these people, authority, have to implement it before it is formally introduced to the House of Assembly. That's how it goes. So hopefully, I think this will be approved, and those who are claiming by their DNA or traditional genealogy documentary that they are Kenyan can get Kenyan citizenship. Well done, Kenya. When countries or governments do good, we come and encourage, congratulate them. When it's not something that's in the benefit of Africans, then we criticize. This is a principle that we stand by. So let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this new move from Kenyan government? Please comment below. And let us know what other things are we need to do. We have to bring you in terms of topic from anywhere that really impacts Africa. You can also comment that below. Further than that, you can please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We always ask you, because we have seen that like almost half of our viewers are not really subscribed. And give it a like if you find it informative enough, and share the video with others. You may please support us through our PayPal account and our Buy Me a Coffee link. Both are in the very top of the description section. Thank you very much again, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.